What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sean P, and today we're delving into a question that I get asked somewhat a lot. And that question is, how the hell does a self-taught photographer build a career in New York City or anywhere else? And off the top, like, some of y'all just got to start with the basics. You're not quite ready. I'm talking about composition, lighting, subject matter, but this is not that video. This is the how do I get work video. So, if you already know how to make an amazing image, you already know about your basics, your skills and everything, and all of that part is in order. Okay, but you just don't know how to go pro. Stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for you, all right? You have to find your voice as a photographer. Why? Because there's so many different types of photography you can do. You got portrait photography, you got street photography, sports action photography. There's so many different types of work you can do. And that's the first thing you have to do is narrow it down. What is it that I do or that I'm passionate about or that I'm interested in? I have a preference for shooting black intellectuals, with a hint of fashion. Why? Because I'm a fly nigga. They chillin'. But again, like I was saying, what is it about your photographs that make you you? It makes it easier for you to be hired, for you to be noticed when you have this distinct calling card that tells photo editors, I need to hire this guy because he knows how to shoot very good street photography for this campaign that we have. It's about getting work. And in order to get work, you need the people that hire photographers, photo editors, which we're going to get to next when we talk about gatekeepers, the attention of the photo editors. Whatever it is that is your voice, be very deliberate, be very distinct, and make it your thing. Like I said, refining your voice involves honing into what it is that you do best. Dropping my phone. If you do portraits, you need to OD on portraits and take the best possible portraits that you can take. That takes practice. It's the helicopter passing above. Figure out what it is that you do best and lock the in. Just out here, it's a beautiful day. Right here on the water, a little bit of breeze. Brooklyn Bridge is right over there. I'll show you all that a little bit later. Let me give you all the full fit check. Boom. Boom. Again, this is not a technical video. I'm not going to tell you guys how to make your photos, but I am going to tell you that you really need to decide what kind of photography it is that you're going to do. You want to find the people that are already doing the type of photography that you like, and don't copy them, but emulate their methods. If they have high production value shooting their subject matter, then try to have high production value shooting your subject matter. If you have a thing for shooting in natural light, then study the people who shoot the best natural light photos, because your content is your content. Whatever you make is going to be uniquely yours because you're making it, and nobody else can bring the vision that you bring to it.
Message.
Alright, you finished part one of the video. If you made it this far, go ahead and like and subscribe. That way you can get all the other videos. Next up, we have what we call gatekeepers, okay? And gatekeepers are the people that hold the jobs. They are the people that hire you, okay? That is your photo editors, creative directors, art buyers, producers. Sometimes it's in-house, corporation ad agencies. It could be any number of people that do the hiring. Bottom line is, those people are who you need to know. They need to know you. They need to know your work, and you have to figure out ways to show them your work without being too crazy, too overbearing. Photo editors are the people who are in charge of recruiting the photographers, managing the photo shoots, sending out the call sheets and things like that. They sort of are your main point of contact, when it comes to photo shoots and stuff like that. So you need to figure out who these people are, and you need to email them your work. But there's rules, there's subtleties to this. You can't just be like overbearing. You can't be crazy. You can't be emailing them every week. I like to keep it no more than once every other month. You know, if you're shooting something new and you have a reason to share something really cool that you shot, you know, that just was published or something like that, that's a good excuse to email a photo editor or a creative director or whoever to say, hey, just a few lines, keep it very brief. You want to hit them like, hey, this is Sean. Just wanted to let you know that I recently shot this cool blah 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 for so and so. It was just published. Have a look and keep me in mind. Keep me on your radar. Simple. Keep it real brief and share your work and get up out of there. Same thing with Instagram. Keep a well organized page. Be easy to find. Post your work. Photo editors are looking at your page if you have good work. Even if they're not liking your photos or if they're not looking at your stories or whatnot, if you are making work in a, and this goes for not just New York but anywhere. If you're making good work and you're publishing it, then a good photo editor, their job is to find you. Here's a classic example, right? I went to Charleston because that's where I'm from. To I forgot what I was going there for. I think I was going to see some family, but there was a specific reason. But I forgot. I was going to Charleston, and I flew down there, and a photo editor from the New York Times hit me up just because she knew that I was from Charleston, and she called me, and she was like, I'm just asking, but is there any chance that you're in Charleston? She thought I was like living in Charleston. Actually, I live in New York, but I was in Charleston, and she just happened to call me at that particular time. It was quite a coincidence. So she called me. She was like, "Are you there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm there." And she set up the shoot. I went and shot this kid named Sam for a story they were doing on young Jewish kids who were siding with Palestine. I just happened to be in Charleston. It was just like really by chance. So that's another reason, another example. You gotta stay in touch with the photo editors. Let them know what you got going on. Have good relationships with them because the photo editors are ultimately the people who are going to give you a career. Also, relationships with photo editors go on for many, many years. The guy who gave me one of my first editorials for Village Voice, that was one of the first magazines I shot for, was the Village Voice. He was the creative director there. And when the Village Voice closed, he went to another magazine. I shoot for them a whole lot through him because I've worked with him numerous times. I actually have a meeting tomorrow, a video conference with my guy Emil from Wall Street Journal, who I photographed J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon through him. He put me on that job, and it ran on Christmas Day of 2021 or 2020. We are going to have a video conference tomorrow or a Zoom call and should I say? And I'm gonna share some of the new work. Tell them about the blog. Maybe I can get them on the vlog. Maybe I can get like a clip, and it'll be in the episode. We'll see. If a photo editor sends you an email and tells you that they want you to shoot something for them, that is their job. So you have to look at it like they're putting their job on the line for you because they believe in you. It's their job to hire photographers. So therefore, them hiring you is essentially putting their job in your hands. And so I take that very seriously and make the best, absolute best work that you can make. Photography is a collaborative endeavor. You can do it solo, but it things always, 1 + 1 is 3 in photography. When you collaborate with good people, it makes the final product much, much better. So, what is are they doing fireworks outside? Okay. Photo editors, creative directors, art buyers, I can't stress enough. They're your best friends if you're gonna be a photographer. That is if you wanna. Okay, yeah, they are firing firecrackers. That is if you, or maybe pulling down a gate. Was that maybe that might have been a gate? But yeah, these are your people if you want to get work. You know, you have to have a great relationship with them, and they'll call you back. There's nothing like doing a shoot and the shoot came out great. You got everything that you needed. The editorial comes out. It looks great. You can use that work to market more and get more work from that. Which is like basically the final element of this game, and that is marketing. They was really out here firing out firecrackers. It's like 4th of July was like been gone. What are they doing? But anyway, now we back. Marketing. Okay. Marketing. See, that got me all off course. But marketing, as far as as far as photography, you take your good work that you shoot after you have found your voice as a photographer. You have identified the people that you need to get with. We're just gonna go through it. You've identified the people that you need to connect with. Just pitch it. Good night, baby. Yeah. You can always pitch your own work. The photo editors, the creative directors, the art buyers, the producers. You've identified these people, right? There's multiple means that you can do that. We'll get into that at another time. But once you identify these people, then now you have to know how to approach them, right? Again, I mentioned earlier, you can do that via email. Email is probably the most common. That's the easiest. When I first came to New York, like you had to have a print portfolio at that time. That was kind of like the big thing. iPads were like still new, so somewhat in 2014. They were like pretty much brand new. So everybody didn't have an iPad, and the more established you were, the better print portfolio you had. As a matter of fact, like my very first print portfolio that was printed out professionally. I say professionally, but it was printed out on a real legit nice printer. Was by Ahmed Klink, great photographer. Owns an agency now. Slips my mind, but I will write it in. Ahmed Klink. He was like one of the first photographers I met, even before I moved to New York. I just came up here, met him through Korean Black. Weird story, but met him. He was like super nice to me. Printed my whole portfolio out because I had a meeting the next day. So he was like, "All right, I got you. Come by my crib. I'm gonna print your portfolio. I help you print it out. Just buy the ink." So I went and bought the ink, printed out the portfolio, and yeah, he looked out for me. That was cool. If you want to get work in this freelance thing, you got to market yourself to photo editors, creative directors, art buyers, and Instagram. Have a good, clean website. Every website is easy to use these days. You can just load them up like any computer software program. Squarespace. Format is what I use. I used to use Collective Cargo, so I have experience with a bunch of them, but they're all pretty similar. You can investigate. They all have a free trial, so you can just check it out and see which one you like. The 3 photography commandments. Follow these rules. You have mad bread to break up. You know, and yeah. All right, so I figured I would give y'all a post-meeting update. The meeting went excellent. Bonus information: I got to get a drone license and a drone. All right, so just a little bonus, straight from a photo editor's mouth. Good thing to have right now is a drone license and a drone to take aerial photos. So there you go, little jewels. Also, always follow up with your photo editors, because turns out one of the photo shoots that I did with this guy, we collaborated a few years back. It turns out that this is one of the best photo shoots that they've had. The person who I photographed still talks about it. You never know what an impact you made with your work, and when you did a good job. So make sure you follow up with people, because despite having that great photo shoot, I still haven't worked with him in a while. So always stay on top of that type of stuff, because they might not, unfortunately. But just a couple jewels. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video if you like the content. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one.